Hey, how's it going, guys? Garcia here with another portfolio update. So in this video, I'll break down the portfolio, show you the moves that I made today, share the post from Twitter, give the shout outs at the very end of the video, and please hit the like button and subscribe. All right, so let's get to it. So we are down slightly to $141,660.40. So there have been some pretty big changes to all three portfolios, and I'm excited to share that with you guys today. So today, in the small account, we're down 0.2% today, up 26% in the past 3 months, 38% year to date and all time. So what changes have been made? All three accounts are now going to hold the 4 companies that I'll be accumulating shares in. So before I had the traditional, the Roth and the big account kind of having separate holdings, doing kind of separate plays. But what I decided is, look, if I'm serious about, accumulating TSLA, RKLB, and ENVX, I need to do so with all three accounts in a similar, or I would like to do that in a similar allocation percentage. It doesn't mean that I'm going to be holding Palantir 25%, everything's going to be 25%. But if I have 80% Palantir allocation in the big one, big portfolio, then I'll have 80% across the other accounts as well, to kind of keep that consistency and that exposure between all three accounts. Let's see. So here, I bought TSLA, 100 shares of TSLA last night and this morning. I bought 25 shares of RKLB and 15 shares of ENVX. And I believe I bought some Palantir on this account as well today. Let me double check. Yeah, I bought 25 shares to kind of even out the allocation here. So the idea is to have 10% cash in each account. So I'm going to be working on raising cash in the big account. So here, $545 will stay as cash to take advantage of any crashes or any big dips. And you'll see the equity. So eventually, let's go to equity on the calls as well. So these calls, eventually I want to sell once at least I'm break even, or if we're going on a really good pump, sell it and then convert those into shares. And so I want RKLB and ENVX, I want them to add it up to equal the TSLA allocation. That's kind of how I want it to be. Like, let's say if TSLA is 20%, I want each of these to be 10% each. All right, so let's go to the Roth IRA, which ultimately does mean that there won't be much difference between all three accounts and their daily returns, but hey. Down 0.5% today. We're up 23.8% in the past 3 months. We're up 27% year to date and all time. So here, the buying power, I made sure I bought enough shares to leave it at 10%, around 10% of the account. And man, Celsius, I mean, look at that total return, $1,000 lost there. Go to equity. So yeah, there's the allocation there. So TSLA is at 1,100. ENVX and RKLB, I want them to be around 500 to 600 of allocation each. Okay, and let's go to the big account. All right, so the big account, today we are down 0.9%, almost a full percent. And this one is because Palantir had a pretty decent dip today. I think, what was the percent change? Yeah, we're down 0.78%. The put. Yeah, we're currently down on the put. We're down 33%. I did close the covered calls. I closed both of the covered calls, the $32 and the $33 covered calls. I just want to go into the S&P inclusion with maybe I'll sell maybe 5 the day of, but I don't want to be too exposed in either direction. I'm already holding the shares, so I can just continue holding through these big volatile moments. And especially with Palantir not being in a particular extreme in either direction right now. I mean, look at this. The RSI is like pretty much dead, pretty much at 50, right? We're at 52. So it's not, for me personally, it's not in a place where I would feel confident in any direction selling some covered calls or cash secured puts at this very moment. I would rather wait, I could have sold some covered calls when it was in the 70s and then sell some cash secured puts when it was in the 30s. So I'm just going to wait a little bit longer, and I think ultimately it'll be the best choice. No matter what happens, I think I'll be okay with that choice. I did close the puts on TSLA when it was really pumping. Like TSLA had gone up to, let me see, I bought the put back at 924. So at 924, TSLA was, oh man, dang, the timing was pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. So when TSLA was almost at 1150, these cash secured puts were already, I think, at 30% return, and these expired till January 2025. So I still had 3 months to go. And when I already got so much up front, I think it's more prudent to take the money off the table and redeploy when you get a better return on your money, because I already made 30%. So I locked in the profit, and I decided to sell some closer dated puts. Instead of expiring January 2025, these puts here expire in probably like 2 weeks, and it is 10 contracts. So I'm only putting up 10,000 in collateral right now for those contracts. Okay, so this account, let's go to equity. So that's the status right now. So the goal is going to be to allocate to all four accounts, all four shares. All four different companies across the 3 accounts. So depending on where these companies are, whether they're oversold or overbought, then that'll dictate whether I put more to one company and less to another. But the idea is to accumulate all four, in a somewhat of a, regular pace. Okay, so yeah, if you guys have any questions or anything, just drop a comment down below. I do appreciate you guys for watching. Okay, so this was so I posted this last night. So this was inspired by, I believe these are the McFarlanes. Garcia, when that random just in case meme that he's refused to throw away for 20 years finally comes in handy.
It is like a very specific 10-inch 2x4, and then another one stacked just like this on top of it, and this would be fixed. It'd be fixed. No way! No way! No way! No way! Yeah! Finally! Something like this? No way!
I mean, honestly, that's really how it feels. I had that meme in there for weeks, if not months. And finally, Squirtle had a post going up here, and it was long. This was just like the last 4 lines, but it was like a 30-line post of just, it was just berating, and it was just nonsense. So I had to use it. I was like, hey, you're cutting it close, Squirtle. This is like the scale, the wine mom, mid-twit, hot take. There's a very thin line between secret esoteric knowledge and mental illness. And Squirtle was right in that line. So that was the inspiration for that meme.
I hope so. I hope so.
Here's the post that I shared on Twitter. Simplifying the portfolios. So the first 4 punches in my investor card. So here, dude, they actually started talking about ontologies and talking about how they have an ontology, that they developed the ontology. And it's like, yeah, fucking right. Like, their earnings are not their AI's earnings are not showing that. Here, they keep using the word ontologies again. And I really don't think they're using it the way they should be using it. They're just using it because Alex Karp and Palantir have that, and they know they don't. That is really how quickly they change their mind.
Ai, o meu amor fez comida, mas que coisa mais linda! Olha, fez carne, nossa tia, mas que coisa mais linda! Olha que coisa mais fofa! Onde está a comidinha que a nenê fez? Ah, que vergonha! Manteva, por que isso? Mas como meu amor?
Billy really is the fucking best. And I mean, hey, one of my love languages is words of affirmation, so that post is actually accurate. And with that, I leave you guys for tomorrow. So thank you guys for watching. I appreciate your guys' time. Please hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't done so yet, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a good one.